My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And although summer is over, it's never really over in our hearts, which is why today we're going to talk about beaches. But before we get into all, like, you know, the summer vacation fun, like we're taking you on a little vacation with us, there's been an update, a Noonas update. Previously, on an episode of the Noonas, we informed you that the long-awaited and anticipated Thai drama Kin Porsche was canceled. But like a phoenix from the ashes, it rises again because another company bought the rights to it and brought over most of the actors from the original cast to make Kin Porsche live. Unfortunately, fan favorite Perth will not be reprising his role as the villain, which is very unfortunate. I know, boo, boo. But it's okay because, like, we really wanted this mafia situation.
Yeah, the like other option was not to have it at all. So
yes,
I mean,
so exactly.
Gotta take what you can get.
Gotta take what you can get. So I was very pumped about that. So I just had to like let all of you know that if you weren't aware and were like kind of bummed, don't be bummed anymore because they put out like a dark, sick little teaser like, guess who's back? Back again. Kin Porsche's back.
Tell a friend.
Which we did. Beat each other up. Yeah. So we're here to tell a friend, man. You're our friend. So that was just a little, a little situation. But now we're gonna go talk about beaches. Before we start, I would like to thank our user over on Discord, LMCCML, who suggested this topic to us. Our Discord's super fun, by the way. You should join our Discord. We have a lot of fun over there.
Yeah, it's really chill and like nice. So don't worry about it being like
it's not a hardcore Discord.
Place.
It's like a real chill Discord.
Nice place to find like recommendations for things and links to like, ooh, I love this video.
It's totally free. It's you don't have to pay for anything. You can just come and talk about stuff you love, like the rest of us do, and it's really fun. Sky, you were muted.
You're muted.
I sure was. and you can give us suggestions there too.
Yeah, if you have like a really sick suggestion for, an episode, we are all ears. Listen, there's only 4 of us. We have like a shared brain cell for like episode ideas. So like, please
there's not like
things to us.
Good things like holidays or like
they only come by so often.
It's really hard to figure out things to do for this podcast.
But like, and then we'll come up with a really great idea and we'll be like, wait, we did that 2 years ago.
Yeah, like,
we did it. It was a good idea, but
it was a good idea when we did it previously. Yeah. So if you're thinking like, wait a second, I remember an episode similar to this where you like, we're talking about summer vibes. Yeah, we talked about summer vibes, but this is beach specific.
Yeah.
We're getting summer comes around every year. So like,
we're getting deeper into the nitty gritty sand.
Yeah, and that episode was kind of more about like what we watch during the summer. Like
now we're
as a living in the season and not just like specifically talking about beaches in relation to what we see in dramas.
Yeah, but like beaches have a kind of special place as sort of a physical plot device.
Yeah.
In lots of dramas. It's good. They're good fun. They're good fun. So that's what we're going to talk about. How are beaches normally used in dramas?
Well, when I was like kind of trying to think of like the dramas that I watched that had beach scenes and stuff, like 2 kind of paths to get there were kind of seemed to be the like most reoccurring for like beach scenes to happen in dramas. And kind of the first one is it's used as like an escape that can go both ways. It can go like a neutral or a happy way, or like a sad. Like an actual sad way, or like a person trying to evade law goes to the beach because they can easily get a fisherman job, that sort of thing. And it's also used as like the goodbye kind of scene, so it's used a lot in the like ends of dramas, or like so like maybe a wrap up of a drama where you see kind of like the last like nice little thing of maybe like a harder drama or more drama that's centered around thrillers, like, you know, do people come together and are at the beach and having a nice like vacation or just like a happy time.
Also, like, it's a good like in, you know, romance dramas, it's like, it's a nice location to have like a private romantic moment, because in the fictional world of dramas, beaches are so empty.
So empty.
Yeah, they really
Like,
are.
So empty. Like,
You will never
sometimes it
run
makes
into
sense.
anyone.
Sometimes it'll make sense, like, because it'll be like the middle of winter and you're like, why the fuck are you going to the beach? A lot of times it'll be like summer and you're like, so where's all of the people at this beautiful pristine beach?
we're in Jeju Island right now, and
Yeah,
nobody else is here at the height of, you know, vacation time. Okay, sure.
Interesting.
Makes sense.
Like, it's, you know, and some of them, like, some, you know, there'll be ones where they're on like a small fishing island or something. Like, okay, sure. But other times they'll be like in Busan, and you're like, no, wait
See,
a second. Wait.
I feel like the trip to Busan is often used too. So like, and it doesn't have to be a romance drama, but quite often it's like, oh yeah, we need to get away. Well, what's the closest getaway place that we can think of? It's usually Busan. Like,
do you want the East Sea or the West Sea? Let's go. Pick one.
And I guess it like really lends to just like, that's where the citizens of Seoul would go to vacation. So it like mirrors that. It's definitely always like the couples kind of like get to be freer when they're not like surrounded by like other people too. So like that's kind of like where I see their like escape like away from like evil mother-in-laws or weird coworkers, even if they're not like the couple at the time. It's usually when they're like flirting with each other, you know.
Like, it's a common, like, and I mean, you know, it's like, it's really funny about this sort of escape, because I spent my childhood, I lived in two separate beach towns. One is Shediac, New Brunswick, which is Parley Beach, the warmest waters in Canada. It's a dirty ass beach, like, I don't know, but it was, so all like the rich Quebecois would come because it's French there. So all of like the city people from like Quebec City, Montreal, and Toronto would come to Parley Beach to vacation. Whereas the other part of my childhood I spent in Ocean City, New Jersey, where all the rich people from Philadelphia, New York would come to vacation. And we were never the rich people. Let's just the townies are never the rich ones. Let's just say that.
We live near, I mean, we live in on a lake, so not, you know, ocean beaches, but there's lake beaches here. And my daughter and her friends were all just cracking up because there was recently like a YouTube video on the like hot spots of Ontario, or like the unknown gems, hidden gems or whatever that nobody knows about. And they did one of the beaches near here. That's one of the most popular beaches in southwestern Ontario. And we're like
yes, what a hidden gem.
And they're like, look at how empty it is. And we're like, when were like, was the park closed? Were you how is it that empty? Because it's never that empty at that
were
beach.
You there during lockdown?
Yeah, exactly. It was like,
are you supposed to be here?
That particular park is like, when they open in, you know, whatever February, they open the like reservations for camping for the year, and it's booked within like a week. The entire summer is booked. I'm like, that is not a were you on the dog beach? Like, I don't know. Like,
where were you?
Yeah, I grew up and was raised and spent most of my life in Florida. So I've always been around the beach, and it's always been a kind of weird, oh, it is storming out, so you'll probably hear thunder. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But
can't control the weather.
Like, it's just always been weird to live in kind of like in a spot where it's not the normal thing for people, like they aren't living near water. So like, I mean, I was close enough. I didn't live on the beach because obviously when you live on the beach you're rich or living in a shack.
That is not the case in Shediac, New Brunswick. Let's just
but
say
like
that.
I was always close enough that like if we had half days at school, we would spend the rest of the half day at the beach. It'd be
nice.
Less than 10-minute drive down to the beach and just hang out there. Or like if you wanted to just like go do stuff, like if I wanted to go for a walk, would be nothing for me just to drive
Yeah.
for like 10 minutes to go for a walk. And it is kind of like a magical place. I feel like the scenes we see in dramas or in just like entertainment in general, there is something magical about the beach.
Because like there's something like where like the sound of the waves hitting the shore and like you're just like this is
Well, and then like the
nice.
breeze, and it's like it signifies like you not being at work and not being, you know, tied down to things, and you can kind of just relax, and it like it's just that like thing that like sparks in your brain. You're like, this is it. And I think a lot of people relate to that when they see it in a drama too. So it's a shared experience that like we can all do, even though the like circumstances of why the characters are going to the beach are different than what you would have.
I mean, when we say even shared experience, it's across the board too, right? Like it's not just K dramas, it's going to be in Thai dramas, it's going to be in Japanese dramas, because they're all very waterlocked places.
Yeah.
But we also understand it because we get it from trips to the beaches here and stuff too, right?
Well,
so
like, you know, that's the go-to, like when you're thinking like your parents are like, hey, where should we go to vacation? The beach.
So when I was researching stuff, I did come across a Cosmo article from the Philippines Cosmo, and they actually like had 7 of the beaches that are normally seen
Oh, that's
in
cool.
dramas.
oh.
And I thought I'd share them
Slap
because I
that
thought it would be
knowledge
like
on us,
interesting.
girl.
So the first one we have is Jumanjin Beach, which is the one that you see in Goblin.
With the pier.
Yeah, the one that it's that scene
With
where
the-
she calls him and there's the bouquet. It's
Yeah,
like the number
yeah.
one still.
I like
Then we have Samchuk Beach, which is the one you've seen while you were sleeping. I've never seen that, so I can't tell you the clip. So then there's Namhae Island, which is the one in True Beauty.
Aha.
It's
cool.
during the date scene. It also says that it's the wide sandy beaches in the area is the big pull for that. Then you have Mongsong Beach is the one that you see in Hotel de Luna, which if you've seen that, there's like a part where she opens up her
the
hotel
door and
into
they're in
the
beach.
Yeah. Then
That's on Netflix now, so
there's
you can watch it.
Ayajin Beach is the one in It's Okay Not to Not Be Okay. And then we have Dadapo. Yeah. It's really hard to read this when it's not like sectioned out. Dadapo Beach, which is in Busan. It's the one that's you see in King and Eternal Monarch.
Yeah.
I always like sort of like also like the seaside locations that they find. Like I love when they have something set in the city, in the town of Pohang, which is the one that has the huge hand statue coming out of the water. Like that's cool.
Yeah, and then the last one is Jeju Island, which is like the most known, the most tourist trappy of them all.
That's like their thing, right? Like
I always wonder what Jeju Island actually looks like, because you know it has to look more tourist trappy than we ever see, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it kind of depends on what are their restrictions on things, because Jeju Island has a huge amount of like orange groves and like citrus farms. So like if there's like something that like prevents,
and also I think there are UNESCO heritage
sites,
sites, so I think that it's also like you can't build certain.
Yeah. So it's not as tourist trappy as it would look like if it was in the middle of America.
Yeah,
it would be different looking.
But like there's places here that have like huge regulations. Like even if you go somewhere like Hilton Head, like literally their signs can't be a certain amount foot off the ground. So like we will never have a sign that's like over 6 feet. Like it's literally signs are on the ground. So McDonald's, the sign is on the ground.
So like, what are some beach scenes that like stick out to us in our mind?
So I'm gonna bring up one really quick.
Please do.
I would not really recommend the drama itself, but the drama Warm and Cozy.
Oh, Jeju Island Gatsby. Classic drama.
The reason I bring it up though, they show, and I think these were actual female divers, like the older female divers at Jeju Island. And then they even showed like the diving school and stuff to learn how to do what they do.
Oh, cool.
And I really liked that part of it. So you could tell the whole drama was trying to sell you Jeju Island.
Yeah.
Completely.
It was one of those dramas, like, every once in a while you'll watch a drama and you'll be like, or a show, and you'll be like, what is the reason that this drama is being made? Like, I think the best example is if you watch Return of Superman, that's definitely trying to get people to have babies. Warm and Cozy, they were trying to get people to go to Jeju. They were
you always see at the end of the episode, like, you know, by the Jeju tourism departments. Like, yes. Yeah. Very, very obviously. Classic. But I really did like the female diver scenes because they got a lot of screen time, and they even showed, and of course this is all fictional, like they weren't exactly all welcoming to all of the rich people coming and trying to have a coffee shop, or, you know, they would always look at them suspiciously.
It's a huge thing there, because it's their livelihood, and it's also they are the natives of that area, and this has been like taught like down through generations, the like art of it, because they're doing that without assistance of breathing. Like, they train to be able to be underwater that long and stuff. So it's a fascinating,
it is,
like, job.
So the tiny peek that they give you in that drama, I'm not saying it's worth watching the drama itself.
Really not, but it is the best part of that drama.
Is the best part of the drama. And, you know, and like, ooh, pretty stuff. Like,
that drama was such a hot mess. Such a hot mess.
I would actually never it is not warm and cozy. It is
not. It's like, I'm still questioning why she would have ended up with him.
Just call it subtext, like manipulation, and just be done with it.
Yeah, he's very toxic. A very toxic male lead, and not in like a tsundere sort of way. In a, I mean, wow, buddy.
To tell you, there was a cameo of that awful character from Master's Son in it, and it like fits because that's the tone you're getting from the male lead. Anyway.
I really love the beach scene in Strong Woman Do Bok Soon. Like, okay, I'm not like a super romantic person, but the beach scene in Strong Woman Do Bok Soon, for as many problems as the drama has, is so cute and so romantic.
They have a lot of behind the scenes.
And it's just like you want them to be in love for real. You want it so bad. You're like, ooh, like no matter what you say about that drama, like.
It has some
really good stuff.
The romance plot between the two of them
that is solid.
The chemistry was good.
The chemistry is hella good. But and it's like all like they do like the beach at like sunset, so it's all like the golden hour, like, and it's all pretty, and they're writing their name in the sand, and and then he takes the step forward, like. They're, of course, wearing, like, full-length wool coats because this is something that happens often. Like, another Park Bo-young drama that recently ended, Doom at Your Service, had... listen, I don't want to, like, give too much away, but she does the escape route where she, like, escapes to the beach so no one can find her, da-da-da, but, like, she obviously gets found by the male lead because that's how these things go. And it's like, it's the coats again. The coats on the beach, just standing in the beach in your long woolen pea coat. And I'm like, and your shoes. And I'm like, my dudes.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, like the winter beach scenes, but who wants to wear like sneakers on the beach? Like, that's just a recipe for gritty shoes for the rest of your life. Like,
yeah.
If you can't rinse it off with a hose, don't wear it on the beach.
My first thought immediately was 2 Moons Thai drama.
Yes.
They have, like there's a few scenes, but like for some, for reasons, these kids who are in their first year of university and are pretty have to like go on a trip to the beach to have pictures taken, like promotional pictures for their whatever. Anyway, they're at this beach.
It's a thin plot.
It's very thin. I looked up. They showed the title card really well, like of the resort that they stay at. So I was like, wonder if that's a real place. I'll just look it up. $2,500 American a night. I was like, college students? Really? Sus, but okay. There's one of the couples has this really great, like at night sitting, looking at the moon, looking at the stars, having this talk, but then they kind of have a fight because the one is a little too pushy and the other one's like back off kind of thing. So they like that one's kind of good. And then the next day there's the main couple has a big fight on the beach, and it starts nice, but then it turns into like this misunderstanding and this fight and this.
The romance of the beach couldn't help them that day.
No, neither one of them did it really work for them, but it was a really pretty setting for them to have these problems.
In another Thai show that actually did, I think, the beach a little better is Until We Meet Again. You have like basically the confession scene between because there's like two timelines going on, one in the 80s and one in the current time, where basically the really, masculine buff dude is basically coming to terms with the fact that he is in fact gay and in love with this cute little man, and just professes his love on the beach. And it wasn't even in the novel. I have read the novel, and like the addition of this scene was, it was like it could have happened anywhere, but the fact that it was on the beach and like
just makes it that much better.
And and then they can go play in the water, and you're just like, oh.
One of the first dramas that I thought of, I don't know why, like this was the first drama I thought of, but it was Are You Human Too? It ends on the beach. I really can't give away anything about it because it is a huge spoiler, but it was one of the first ones that I thought of. I was like, oh wait, that like it's the literal end and there's a beach scene, because then I like had just watched the thriller Midnight, and there's like the end of that had a beach scene, and then I was thinking about like all the other things. I was like, Boys Over Flowers and Playful Kiss, those all ended on beach scenes too. But yeah, Are You Human Too is definitely worth a watch. I think it's been picked up to Vicky, right?
I think so,
because it was on Drama Fever before the collapse, but
back in the day.
Yeah, so there's
I still haven't finished that one.
I've seen there.
Yes, it is on. It is on Viki. I have just double checked.
I figured that it was going to get picked up because it was one of the things on Drama Fever that had completely aired, so it wasn't like it was midway.
It's also subtitled in 21 languages. So listen, if you're a Czech speaker, you're in luck because it has been subtitled in Czech.
It's not really all on the beach. Well,
no.
Is his house on the beach, like, or near the beach, the one in the other country, whatever country that
maybe
in.
Yeah, whatever.
It's been a hard time, but it's like beach really, like that's the only scene that I remember that actually is specifically beach importance.
I also like shows that like take place in like little fishing beach island villages, like Top Star Beck. That show's funny if you want.
It is ridiculous. Yeah. It is a ridiculous show.
It is a delight. It is a delight of a show. Let's just say that.
It's mostly I feel like the main characters are actually the townspeople of the island.
Oh, for sure.
And they're all ridiculous. Yeah. So
it's clearly supposed to be like a sitcom-y.
Yeah,
type
it's very sitcom.
Show. Like it's
if it had a laugh track, it would probably fit in just like that's
And then like sometimes the shows use them for sad purposes, like Uncontrollably Fond. Which, let me tell you, if you don't want to be sad, skip it.
Just don't.
I saw the other day, I think they just added it to Viki, And I was like, oh no, I don't need that trauma back in my life. Like, oh, I don't. Yeah, they just added it to Viki, and listen, I love the cast of that show, but you didn't need to do me that way, you know? Like, it is a good show though. It's just incredibly depressing.
I can't think of like specifically a lot of them, but I feel like a lot of historicals use the beach for the sad scenes. Like, it's a good place to have a really dramatic looking death. You get shot with arrows. You're riding your horse down the water, and you know, I feel like there's some beach stuff in oh shoot. Now I can't remember the name of it, but it was a historical. It was the one that was set around the Japanese occupation. Sunshine, Mr. Sunshine. I think there's I've seen some clips of some beach stuff going down, and none of it looks happy. So.
I would honestly say with almost certain confidence that the reason they use beach scenes in those is because they don't have to build sets that are period. You can get away with the area.
That's why there's so many things take place in the forest, or like on a cliff, or just in an empty field. Because it's cheap. It's cheap to do. Like, you just pull out a couple generators for the lights and you're in it to win it, you know?
But yeah.
Well, and I get that. Like, and also, everyone likes seeing the beach. The beach always looks so inviting, you know?
It always looks pretty.
Even
or angry, but
shows,
like pretty when it's angry even. Yeah.
Like, even variety shows use the beach, like... a lot.
Yep.
That's one of the things when I was watching a lot of 2 Days, 1 Night. I really enjoyed how all their trips to places, they would like talk about all the history, or they would show all the geography, and it would even tell you the people of this area, they typically sell this or make this, like, and then they would show those people doing those things. They would sometimes partake in working that job with them, and so I really enjoyed those aspects of that variety show, because you would see all the different beaches, all the rocky ones or the sandy ones, but the people that also worked and lived there. And yes, they would play games and be silly on the beach, but then showing the townies doing their thing. And especially there was one, it was like kind of one of those historical villages where the people live and like make baskets or something in an ancient way. It was just really cool because you could tell these were all very old people. And so showing what these people are up to, trying to like preserve history. Yeah. It was pretty cool.
And then you get stuff like Monster X-Ray, where they go to the beach and have to play a game to see what they're going to eat. And everyone's naming all of these wonderful seafood dishes that are, you know, special to the area.
So they get the Youngwon.
They end up, Youngwon ends up winning and chooses fried chicken.
Way to go, like, buddy.
I swear we were gonna witness a murder in that episode. We're so mad.
There's a Taiwanese show, Jasper, When I See You Again. It's set at a hostel on the beach. There's a lot of that.
I just remember, I always love watching shows that, like, it's very obvious that they're trying to, like, showcase like the area that they're shooting in. I remember when I was watching the show Bromance, which I'm also pretty sure has a beach scene. They go everywhere.
They're everywhere
Taiwan,
in
Bromance. But I just remember, like, the opening credits is basically just like a look how beautiful, like, all the nature and all the city and everything around it. And every time I would watch it and, like, the opening credits would go, like, my husband Matthew would be like, welcome to beautiful Taiwan! Beautiful Taiwan! Go! Check out all the fun things you can do in a beautiful Taiwan! I love it. I also really like sort of the beach-related plot devices that you see over and over. I think my personal favorite is a nice twist on the old "there's only one bed," which is, you know, that's a fan fiction favorite, right? But it's the, oh no, we've missed the last ferry home. Like fishing island, and that only has one hostel, and the hostel only has one room. What are we gonna do? I don't know why I am such a sucker for that trope.
And the hostel keeper always kind of side eyes whatever
like,
couple or non-couple it is.
Yeah, or it'll be like a really conservative, so they'll have to be like, oh, we're a married couple, and then like you have to like pretend to like, but usually this is at the point where they don't really. They're still in the enemies of the enemies to lovers. Like
yeah, they're never like fully in the like romance level.
No, like it's always just like them having to like pretend, and like they always bring out those Ajuma like pants with like the floral print harem pants, which I love because that's like the kind of stuff I wear in like normal life. So I'm like, oh, apparently me and the middle-aged Korean ladies know what's up. And then, so they always have that, and like the vests, always with like the quilted vests. Love it. I love everything about it. Then they gotta roll out like the little floor blankets, and like they lie awkward. Oh. Yes.
Or the other one that you'll get with the beach that's similar is the tide rolls in and cuts you off, right? Like
yes.
You went, like in the package, he doesn't pay any attention, and he's like, oh, cool, I'm gonna go, and like everybody else is walking back already, but he's like, oh, I got plenty of time, it's light out, and then the tide rolls in like that, and
because it happens.
She sees him and
like
she's
that.
like, oh crap, and she runs out to, because she's the tour guide, she runs out to get him, but it's too late, and the tide rolls in, and now they have to spend the night on the beach alone, because
or there's the other kind of like, I think they did this in Secretary Kim, where the love interest is brought to the family's place despite like them supposed to be there, and they do stuff with the family that's like their family's business. So like he went out and got like oysters or whatever.
Oh,
like,
yes. or like in because this is my first life with the making the kimchi.
Yes.
That happened in a beachside town too.
I feel like I've seen one where they did octopus too, where they were catching like little octopus, and I can't remember which one, but
because this is my first life actually has a lot of really deep and really meaningful scenes, maybe not necessarily by the beach because they're in the rocky area, so it's like more of like they're sitting like by the road where the rocky beach starts, and like there's like some really major scenes that happen with the water behind them, but they're still beaches.
Beautiful.
A rocky beach is a beach.
Listen,
I just
all of
love
my beaches around here are rocky beaches.
I just really love where it's like the plot where it's like a city folk comes out to the little fishing village and has to see how like the bumpkins do things, and the fish out of water thing that happens literally with like fishermen in water. Like,
yep.
Love to see it. And then they always have those K-dramas. They always have the most intricate food eating scenes where the food becomes another character, and with the beach it's always like the local seafood delicacy that they trot on out, and it's always something just absurd looking, just absolutely decadent. Like, obviously I don't eat seafood, but like if I did, I feel like I would be hungry.
I feel like those places also like give the most banchan. Like it's like the 50 things of banchan.
Yeah,
and you're
just like the whole like the royal table set up.
Yeah.
If you don't know, banchan is a side dish.
It's all the like the kimchi and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that also like happens with the thing that I was talking about, where like people escape to like get out of a situation. Like in Come and Hug Me, the stepmom leaves the area because of the stepdad being found a murderer, and so she goes and lives on the beach and has a restaurant there to escape that, because she couldn't do anything with the press and everything around anyways, and she has like I think it was like a stew place or something, but like seafood based, and so you see that a lot where the escape, they usually end up having like
or it's like they go live in like the tiny little seaside. Ooh, that was My mouth didn't want to get that one out properly. Like the little seaside little cottage or whatever, where they like sort of become part of the, the local townies, and then, when their life like comes back to haunt them, like the townies are like, you're one of us now.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Jesse mentioning escaping and having a restaurant on the beach reminded me of my first love.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing.
That was a thing. We can't really say what the thing is, but
that was the thing. That was an aspect.
But didn't also in my first love have the trope where they had to stay because they missed the bus, or did she miss the bus and he had to come?
Something like
like that. Yeah.
I just listen. I just love the you missed the last ferry trope. I love it. I love it. Like. Oh no.
See, whereas I get so miffed at that stuff. I'm like, you weren't freaking paying attention.
Well, that's because you plan things.
See,
for us non-planners.
No, but for us, like really anxious people, that would make me have a panic attack.
That's
like
true.
So that's not a good scenario for me unless I have someone with me. Like if it's just me.
True.
Like
no. I would die. Like if it happened to me personally, I would be very upset. But watching it on TV or like reading it in a book or stuff, I'm like, yes, this is the good shit. This is the chemistry coming. This is yes.
I also really liked the beach scene in Secret Life of My Secretary.
I love that show. So
because they used the beach as an escape, and it was like kind of just it showed their emotional closeness. They just portrayed it really well. They weren't even really a romantic couple at that point, I don't think. I mean, it was just they kind of figured out how similar they were as people or something, and it just really stood out to me in my brain about how they used the beach, and the characters were just tying a lot of the emotion with the beach that time, and I thought it played really well. I know that show upsets some people. I really liked it. I thought that was a good scene.
I thought it was cute.
Oh,
it's a cute show.
If you want something else, it's like kind of not all beach, but like in beach area, Tale of Nine-Tailed has a lot of stuff. I was gonna say
when they were when you were talking about fishing villages and stuff, I was like, oh yeah.
It really kind of encapsulates everything because like the bad guys are there, kind of, and the guys. There's some things that happen with the fishermen. There's some things that you see about the lore of some of the mythological creatures that are tied to the water and tied to that kind of area. So it's an interesting difference to watch where you're kind of watching because of the actual lore of the area.
And when you're talking about mythological creatures, of course there's the mermaid dramas, but they often don't have a lot of beach scenes because she avoids the beach because I don't want to turn into a mermaid, but like
the goal is to not be a mermaid.
Very clearly in my mind, I always, when I think Legend of the Blue Sea, I see that scene where she leaves him on the beach, right? Like where she's, he's unconscious and she takes away his memory and walks away kind of thing. And you're like, I could just see that picture. And there are a lot of, in the flashback stuff to the past life, there's a lot of scenes of them in water holes and on the beach and stuff.
It's also worth noting, especially that by the time this airs, I don't know, it's very soon, very, very soon, there is a drama that's coming out on Netflix that it will be based by the water in Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. So
yeah, that's right.
We didn't really plan it this way.
This was purposely.
A happy accident. It was just a happy accident.
I think it starts on Saturday, so yeah, it'll be out.
I'm so excited for that show.
So many dimples.
Cute. I know, just quad dimples.
The story of dimples falling in love.
So when I'm watching a lot of these sorts of shows and variety shows, they'll have like the game to find out how is like, are you like in sync as like a couple or friends or whatever, and they'll always ask beach or mountain, as though like, would you rather go to the beach or the mountain? So I think I want to know how in sync we the Noonas are. Would you rather go beach or mountain?
So are we all saying it at the same time?
Oh.
Yeah, like they do.
Yeah. Okay. And then we'll justify our responses after. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Mountain.
I'm the beach person.
No.
But okay, but I want to be like in the shade on the beach, if that makes, you know what I mean? I want a cabana or a big umbrella or something, because I also burn.
You're like, listen,
crazy,
I'm a pale one.
But you know, put me in a lounge chair kind of thing on a beach, like in the shade where I can see the water. I could go out into the water if I want to, come back and not sit on a towel in the sand. That's not my thing. I want a lounge chair and a book and a drink with an umbrella. Like,
so you want to sit by a pool is what I'm getting.
I like pool. The beach. I like the.
Well, when I was in Panama for my friend's wedding, they had a pool that was like right on the beach.
Oh wow!
So you could get the best of both.
The best
worlds.
of both. Mm-hmm. When we went on my husband booked a family cruise once, and I really enjoyed it. My older son really enjoyed it. My younger son enjoyed it. My husband and my daughter got really seasick and because there was a hurricane that went by. It was so it was a thing. They did not have so much fun, but we enjoyed it. And one of the days we had was like a day at the private beach in the Bahamas or something, and it was just white sand and blue skies. It was so pretty. And I just really, really enjoyed that. And I was like, I could do a week of this. My daughter was like, I could do a week of this too if it didn't involve a cruise ship. So
fair. So why did we all say mountain?
I guess it's a little bit of, I grew up near beach, so I'm kind of used to that, but I also chose to go to mountains for college. So I've technically lived in both areas. And I just, for me personally, like, beaches are nice and pretty, but they will never be as beautiful as the mountains. Also, I hate hot weather. So mountains, you're almost guaranteed. Like, yes, by the beach, it's definitely cooler. Like the wind helps. But you're still directly like sun. But the mountains, just like, I like if there's water, I like waterfalls and kind of like those lakes. And I just find the flora and just nature better. And also because the nature you kind of see a little bit more. With beaches, you know, you'll never see that shark that's beside you.
This is true.
But like anything, like it's not like you can see, like, especially when you're like in the ocean, you can't really see even the fish. So like if I was scuba diving, it'd be a different situation. But it's just, I feel like you can do more. And you know, there's hiking, and just reading book by the like waterfall is a really great thing. And I highly like suggest that. Where I went to college was like right by like 30 different waterfalls, like to the point where it was like I'll study lines by the waterfall, and that's what I did in college. And it was just, it's a magical place. It can be scary, just like the ocean, because you don't know what's in it, but I find that, and just like the coolness of everything also tying in, just personally works better.
Now, Sky, I think I have a theory as to why you chose mountains. And I think it's because you are an avid camper. And I feel like that is more.
Well, people can go camping at the beach. I mean, people do that.
That's true. But I feel like you're the type of person who that lifestyle kind of aligns to people who would say mountains a little bit.
Yeah. And I mean, again, because I'm smack in the middle of land, I mean, I do like lakes. And mountains are always that's where I grew up going. Also, I'm from a pale family, so that's a thing. My family has always preferred cooler weather, so I mean, that's definitely, we would go to things like that. So I prefer the hiking and all of those things. And so now as an adult with my own family and stuff, so having a camper, we haven't trekked that far to go to the mountains yet, but someday. That's the dream.
For me, it's pretty simple. I don't like being around people I don't know.
And okay,
and
so
beaches tend to be full of those people, especially people with small children who run by you kicking sand over your sandwiches, and you're like, I hate this.
The mountains lend to the introvert a little bit.
You know where they don't bring small kids? The mountain.
or at least not by you. You're not
listen,
gonna be close by to the.
If you're like
kids.
sitting in like, you know, the mountain by like a waterfall, if someone like stumbles onto you, they're not gonna like sit down next to you and hang out. They're gonna be like, oh, my bad, like go back to your meditation, like I'll find another waterfall, don't worry. Yeah, though, okay, I will say there is one superior beach situation, one way in which less bugs at the beach.
That's true.
More jellyfish, but less
yeah.
bugs. But I would still choose pound. Still 100%. People boo. People get the down.
I mean, like, I guess the perfect compromise is to go to like the Pacific Northwest where you have both.
Yeah. Settle yourself right there in the middle and just be like,
I must admit,
go either way this weekend.
When I was in Jaco in Costa Rica, that was the perfect balance of both little like mountain rainforest with waterfalls and just beautiful trees and everything, and then like 20 minutes the other way you're watching a surfing competition on a white beach. So it's like you can have both. A lot quieter in the rainforest, gonna be honest. A lot quieter. So we had a fun idea that we are going to bring to you, the listeners, the people, the fellow aficionados of the drama world, and we're gonna make like a bingo for the next, for the next year of you watching dramas. We want to bingo up beach stuff. So we're gonna make a bingo card and like
beach and water and
the beach
items.
and water and summer and that and war.
Yeah, so if you're a mountain person, you can get it.
Move on. This ain't for you. No. This is for drama watchers.
Tie it in. They could do a waterfall. Like
we'll look at it. We'll get it all. So we're gonna do like a fun bingo, and this bingo card will of course be available to download at certifiednoonas.com, and we'll probably post a link to it on our Twitter and Discord. So we will make it available to you. So we're now gonna come up with all of the things to fill out our bingo card with. And I really think that we need to start with Miss the Last Ferry, because that's a classic.
And I think also one that comes up a lot, and even in real life, writing your name in the sand. Like,
yes.
I think we also need to mention wearing a full coat on the beach.
Yeah.
Because that shows up
or just
way more than it should.
Yeah. And then the bookend of that is the going into the water fully dressed.
Yes,
like that,
getting
thrown in or running in or whatever reason you're in the water in your clothes.
I want to mention a trope, so call back to earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Just one aspect of the gender bending dramas is whenever you're near water, all of a sudden the tension goes up because whoever's trying to hide their gender is like, I can't get in the water or else that can be bad. Like that's always fun.
Yeah. I feel like that was in Coffee Prince, that was part of
might have been
the thing they're like they went on that vacation trip and it was a little bit of a like, I can't remember if it was at the beach that they were getting wet or if it was just something else they were doing, and suddenly it was like she was like, oh crap, I'm wearing a white t-shirt. This is gonna be not good.
The one thing I remember about Coffee Prince was right at the beginning where she goes to like deliver food at like like a bathhouse, and all the women start yelling at her thinking like they're like, oh, you're a man, and she's like, I'm not a man, like I just have short hair,
which is ridiculous because her
very
short
transphobic vibes,
but like
she looks like a woman otherwise, like
she looks weird, and she has the most normal like short haircut. Like everyone who has a short haircut in Korea had that haircut. Like it's not
she doesn't look that much like a man. Like let's just be real here. Like she's androgynous, maybe. Like she looked maybe like a lot of lesbians I've met. But like I would have not immediately been like, yes, that there masculine man. Yes. Yes. Like mind you, I don't really care, none of my business. Like I don't care. I don't care what you got in your pants. But anyway, moving on. What's we got? We got.
I
some
have
more.
two. So I
Okay.
definitely think that like ending on a beach scene should be it.
Mhm.
But also a very common thing is going to a cafe on the beach.
Yes.
Going to, or maybe even owning, like it's like
Mhm.
something you would see in Something in the Rain that happens.
Mhm.
That cafe beach.
I want to say like fireworks or sparklers,
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of, right? That's a good one.
I think.
Oh,
like,
and sports.
oh yeah, like beach
volleyball or
sports.
whatever on the beach. Yeah.
I think like, eating like a
Local
big
fare?
big seafood feast at a tiny ass little restaurant.
Yeah.
Something.
Or like eating at a local
Mhm.
local fare or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Local seafood.
Oh, obviously we gotta say being put in the Ajuma pants, because that's something that happens in all of these.
Or the visor.
Yeah.
But yeah. And often, I don't know if this is a whole separate square or not, but like the stolen clothes, you went swimming and left your clothes and they washed
Losing
away
your
in the
clothes.
tide,
Mhm.
or somebody else stole your clothes or whatever, and
mishap.
now you need
Clothes
the
mishap.
Ajuma pants because
Yeah.
you got no clothes. Like,
Yeah. Oh, you have to do like the sad hiding at the beach. Like if you sadly go to the beach by yourself and then someone has to come bring you back to your situation.
Yeah.
Sad
what-
beach times.
What about something like finding your love at the beach? Kind of like what that show, the our favorite sweet boy that got a puppy. Oh my gosh, Sung-hoon.
Oh, yes.
Where they don't have
Okay.
to go as far as they did on their first day together. But like,
They
where,
went a
like,
little wild on the
where
beach.
you officially like you first meet that person
Mhm.
in that.
Mhm.
So I would assume hometown cha-cha-cha can like
Mhm.
be a freebie on this one.
I also think like a first kiss at like sunset on the beach.
Mhm.
That comes up.
mhm,
Oh, lighthouse. If you see a
Oh, yeah, yeah,
lighthouse.
mhm, mhm.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got?
Does windmill count?
Yeah, we do windmills.
Can we do windmill?
Um
'Cause that's a very Jeju thing.
Oh, let's
Just
just
a-
visit Jeju. Like, go to Jeju for reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do like easy ones, like it's a variety show set
Mhm.
in Jeju or a variety show episode. Or like another easy one is you find a foreigner on the beach.
Yes.
Okay, we're at 20.
Sleeping on the beach, like for whatever reason. There's often camping on the beach or sleeping on the beach or
Mhm.
whatever,
I'll put camping. We can cover all that. Let's get some like. I feel like there's more to be done with like locals. Like we need some like interactions with townies. Like
Well, put fishermen somewhere. Fishermen, fisherwomen,
fishermen
Mhm.
are involved.
fisher people.
Fisher
Fisher
people.
People are involved somehow.
Did we say sunset?
Well, I said
Like-
first kiss, but
But just like
Sunset-
as a sunset.
just
in general.
sunset.
watching the sunset.
I'm trying to find like also things that are like not super specific, so
Yeah.
people
To
have
beach,
choices.
yeah.
So
You know?
yeah, so there's
Mhm. Mhm.
we got 20. Okay, so we need 3 more.
Well, did you want to do the
Well, technically we need 2 more because there's a free space.
okay.
Okay.
Did you want to do the one room left
Oh yeah.
thing?
There's only one room. And then we need one more. We'll just
We do. We've done food. We've done.
Ooh, I feel like a car breakdown in the mountain is a classic caper as well. Like that has happened in several, like where you get stranded because of like your car breaks down.
Well, you can just put stranded.
Stranded. Yeah.
Stranded.
I mean, just
Yeah, I'd say
stranded.
stranded.
Yeah.
Not a
I
lot
just
of
read
people
a
cars.
rom-com where they, got stuck in the small town with just one room, and
Oh,
it was
classic,
like,
a
and it was
classic.
because they parked on the beach and then the tide came in and their car was stuck, and they were like, that's weird that they didn't post anything, but this small town makes its money off of, they don't post and then you get stuck and you have to spend the night in the town.
Like every time I watch like a drama that centers around like this close-knit small town like community, it makes me want to live in one.
I really do. Like I've been
I know,
thinking
but
about
at
it
the
because I'm
same
going through
time,
an
like-
existential crisis right now. I'm like, what if I just go to one of those places and just
but like
work
those
in a
places,
restaurant my entire life?
don't really
Yeah.
exist. This is the worst part, is that I grew up in a small town. It's not like that.
Well, yeah,
It's not like that at all.
it's a little bit more not centered on my ideals.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
We're not gonna find the star follow.
A little less welcoming and open to those
Yeah.
with divergent lifestyles.
Or the
Right.
pure fact that like rich people have bought up all the land,
Yeah.
and so there's actually no place to live there, and they're
Yeah.
killing off the place.
The locals.
We don't need to be talking about
We
this.
don't listen.
So,
We're just trying to have a good time. Good time.
going
good time
back
with beaches.
to the bingo card that we're
Mhm.
doing, I think, because I'm all about like people being able to like actually participate even at their level of how little they're watching
Mhm.
Yeah.
or doing stuff. And
Yeah.
so I would propose, like, if you are wanting to partake in this bingo card and you think that there's like no way you're possibly gonna meet most of these,
Mhm.
however that is a thing, maybe you don't watch a lot of stuff that would line with this, maybe like also if you read stuff that
Yeah,
have
yeah,
these
look-
tropes in it, like you
Yeah,
can
man.
throw that in there as
Listen,
well.
we're just
So,
here to have a
Do
good
you,
time.
kids.
There's no
Yeah.
prize. It's just for fun. We want to like see what everyone's up to. So like,
yeah, but I
if
feel
you read-
like I want
if you
people
read,
to
like-
feel like they like
yeah, if
they're
you read like a
welcome no
good
matter what.
novel that has this, or like even fan fiction or a manga or a manhwa or something that this, or an anime, we are open and we love hearing
Yeah.
about it, because
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of our thing is talking about stuff that we love and how much
Yeah.
we love hearing things about things that people love. So
Yeah.
this is just to sort of help us all share stuff that we love together in a sort of a fun, jokey kind of way.
And I think what we'll end up doing is on our Discord, we'll make a channel that's kind of dedicated to this. So if you would like to share your progress
Yep.
or share some of the things that you use for specific things and you want to discuss things and maybe like help
And you
each
can,
other
like-
figure out things that would be good for the specific square. You're like, hey, I know this great like drama that I think
Yeah.
aligns with what you like. And that
Or it's
would
like,
be
wow, I
perfect for
read this,
that.
I read this manhwa that like perfectly had this scene in it that I think you guys would love. Listen, we love it all. We love it all here.
I mean, yeah, I personally would love to see it, like too. So
Yeah.
like, especially like
Yeah.
talking about it, and we can have a little
yeah,
corner.
we can have like
where we're
a fun little like
hanging out.
little community event.
And if you're like
a little bingo
on,
game.
posting your progress on Twitter or something, tag us in it so we can see it.
I just
can
have this
see it, you
image
know?
of someone with his bingo card being like the classic like bingo hall person, and they have their little like stamper
Their dabber.
marker. And then also always like reminds me of the episodes of Roseanne where they go to the bingo hall all the time and they have all their troll dolls with them.
Oh,
You
yeah, yeah,
remember
yeah.
that? So like in my head, you always have to have your
Listen, if
troll
you-
doll.
If you want to print out this document and take a picture of that, we will feature you on our Instagram.
Oh, for sure.
For sure, 100%. So yes, so we will have that out for you when this is out, and we would like to see what you come up with, like what dramas.
And if you have a
books.
bingo dauber, we do want to see it.
Yeah, we want to see your bingo. Like, listen, bingo is a good time. We're.
Oh my gosh, if you get
And
the
you-
full blackout bingo,
Yeah. Oh,
let us know.
I used to like cosmic bingo. Oh, okay. No, let's not get into bingo.
It's not a bingo
Let's not do this.
podcast.
So before we leave off, we do have a very fun like beach, let's sort of like summer vibes playlist that we have on Spotify. But we thought we might add a few more songs to like
Because weirdly, new music has come out in the last
since the
couple
last-
of summers. So
Really?
since last
Yeah.
year, amazingly. So like little fun summery good times that we would like to add to our playlist. So we're gonna do that and now that's what's going to happen. So who wants to go first?
Well, I went hard with the beach theme, so I've got surfing, and surfing by 4 different artists. So surfing by Saran, and surf by Wave to Earth, and surfing by Scrub, and surfing by Iqbo and Nain. So I like all these songs, and also they have surf. So go watch Love Struck in the City or something, and enjoy the surfing scenes, and then listen to our music.
That's fun. I would like to submit the song Sunny by Sunmi that just came out. That's like super, super fun. And also very like, like just it's happy. It's a fun song. I'd also like to put out sorry, my brain just went I was just listening to this before, but Senorita by VAV is a fun, summery, beachy vibe to it. And then, I don't know, let's probably just put my boys in there. Don't Fight the Feeling by EXO is a fun little summer bop as well that I think fits very nicely on the playlist.
So I actually have already a playlist that I have. It's like a water playlist. I call it By the Water, and it's like mostly like indie stuff that like is like a little bit more chill. So maybe like the songs kind of like emulate being like hanging out by the beach, or very like waves. How that like rhythmic of the wave, and it's kind of very drawn out, that sort of thing. So out of that, I would pick Voyager by Arum, Arum, then Siren by Oh Young, and then there is a song by Wind and Wave that features So Ja Young, which is called The Flow of Water.
Ooh, nice.
Oh. And so they're a little bit more chill. So these are like the chiller vibes, but also kind of introduce you to some cool indie artists as well.
I have just a couple, and I'm gonna actually be really predictable because they're just recent releases.
That's fine. Because that's kind of the point.
But
right?
one that is not recent, that's not on our playlist from last time. I don't think it is. End of Spring by One Week.
The I was actually thinking that one. I'm like, no.
They have a rock version that they've released too.
It's real good. It's really good.
I just have to mention my babies, Astro, After Midnight. They even in the music video they're running across the beach. So in my brain, it's tied to the beach.
That's fine.
And because Dreamcatcher should always be talked about, just because Dreamcatcher, because by Dreamcatcher.
Perfect.
Agreed. Well, anyway, this has been our Beach Vibes Summer Good Times 2.0 episode of the Certified Noonas. We hope you enjoyed it. As we said, we have a Discord, we have a website, certifiednoonas.com. You're going to find links to all that over there, as well as links to everything that we talked about. If you want to support this podcast, you can go to patreon.com/certifiednoonas and become a member of the official Found family. We just had another movie night last week, and it was really fun. The movie took a wild turn that I don't think any of us were expecting, but it was a fun time.
That's the adventure of watching things.
That's the adventure of picking movies that
it's a lot of fun when you're like watching with other people and the wild ride happens. You're like,
and when the wild ride happens, you can.
When you're all joking about the wild ride that you like don't actually think is going to come, and then in the next scene it comes, and you're like, oh. Okay,
we spoke it into existence.
We're really bad at doing that.
We are. And yeah, so if you want to support us, you can go there, and all the supporters get special badges on the Discord as well, so you get like special access to special things. Listen, we like to keep things fun around here, Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic week. We're on all social media, Instagram, Twitter are our two main ones. It's always at Certified Noonas, one word, and wherever podcasts can be found. But if you have the time, we would love for you to leave us a review on Apple iTunes, because that is the standard for, people finding new podcasts. But we're also on Spotify and Google Podcasts and all of the places. Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic week. Keep staying safe. Maybe enjoy the little bit of summer that we have left before fall hits. Unless you're down under, then enjoy the rest of winter before spring hits.
Use this as your like.
Yeah, wherever, enjoy whatever
Finishing
season you're in.
Keep you warm.
We hope you keep warm or keep cool, depending on where you are. And also thank you to LMCCML for the suggestion for this episode.
Yes. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Anyway, we hope you stay safe, have a fun week, and keep enjoying Asian entertainment. Bye.
Bye.